Here we are then, guys, fourth round of the F1 2004 season. We're starting at the back of the grid once again at a track I really am struggling at, which is Imola. So lights are out and away we go. We've got two slower cars directly in front of us and also Bruni now as well, but Kimi Räikkönen had a mare of a qualifying, starting I think from 17th here, but there's some chaos at the first turn, as there always is in this game, and I get past a bunch of cars which are going about 2 miles an hour on the apex of the first couple of corners. So there we are, there's 14th place right away. You have to take advantage of these things because it's not always so easy to overtake on this game, especially as you get deeper into the race against the AI, which don't get any less forgiving, let's just say that. So lose a position down to 15th behind Nick Heidfeld, and onto lap number 4. As you can see, not much is happening except from us not being particularly fast, and well, Räikkönen tried to get around the outside of us there. Not especially proud of that one. He was sort of fairly around the outside of me there, and I sort of was quite robustly defending it on the outside. Looked back, I think maybe in hindsight I thought I'd got back past him when I went back down the inside, but there wasn't really space there for two cars to go through, and I sort of didn't leave as much space for him as I possibly could here. So Heidfeld quite slow in front here. Was there a problem? I didn't see one, but we're closing up on him, that's for sure. Some very peculiar lines here. As I mentioned at the start of this one, I really was struggling with this track. It took me a lot of time to even get down to near their times in qualifying. Still, I was off the pace, so I had to capitalise on lap 1 when they were all sort of getting in a bit of a bottleneck at the first turn. But I don't know what it is, just really struggled on this one, just didn't seem to click. But nonetheless, we are sort of not losing too much time to Heidfeld. 1.1 in front, Räikkönen's 1 second behind. Okay, we can't be too disappointed with that, really, to be perfectly honest. It could definitely be worse than that. So we're not off the back by 20 seconds already, so I'll take that as a positive. But saying that, I mean, who knows? Our teammate is probably winning this race by about 40 seconds at this point, so we'll see. But nonetheless, we've closed in on Heidfeld through the part of the track which I did manage to close in a little bit throughout this race, which was the fast left-hander towards the start of the lap. I'll point it out next time we go through it, but that was a corner I was really able to gain on the AI. This one, I thought maybe I would be able to, but just strangely enough, it just didn't work out for me in that corner, and I just wasn't able to gain time through there. So nonetheless, we are still not that far away from Heidfeld, but this time Räikkönen is a bit closer. He's now within a second of us. So through the chicane, a very tricky part of this track on this game, especially when you're not so connected with the car through the steering wheel. So you can see I lost a bit of time to Heidfeld there, but on the brakes, a bit of smoke coming out there. I'm not sure if there's a bit of a lock up there with that sort of graphic effect, but nonetheless, we've lost a bit of time to Heidfeld through this last sector. But you can see I'm trying to be quite clinical through that last corner. Let's just say that my line is clinical, alright? Not corner cutting. Anyway, so we get through the first chicane here. So left, right, I gain time on them there. There's 1 position gained on Heidfeld, but it's this left-hander coming up directly in front of us here. This is the corner I gained lots of time on the AI in most laps, so I'm quite happy with that. So that's putting us closer to Massa, but we're not going to be able to get past him on this occasion. We struggle out at the hairpin and lose some time to him. So 14th place, lap number 7. Considering our qualifying, I'll definitely take that. But you know, considering we scored points in the first 2 races and were quite competitive pace-wise, I'm a little bit disappointed with my performance in this one, and also in Bahrain last time out, to be fair. But here we are, we're right behind Felipe Massa. We can't be crying too much because this could be a good position and a nice overtake here, as we're getting kind of into a bit of a slipstream here. So we're going to go and try and pull into the outside. No, it's not going to work out there, but we're well and truly on his gearbox. But the problem is with Imola, it's quite tough to overtake, especially on the game, as I mentioned already, for a few reasons. It's tough to get a clean overtake done, and getting slightly held up there behind Massa has meant that Heidfeld in his Jordan isn't too far behind me either. So it's a bit of a sandwich here right now. I'm struggling to get past, and well, that's another creative use of the green tarmac that they've just put on that inside of the corner, which is quite nice of them. But through the chicane once again, there's some time gained on Felipe Massa, and I don't think we're going to be close enough because the next corners are quite quick and the braking zone's quite shallow. So You can see I'm not really able to get past him there, and he's actually quite quick through these last couple of corners, to be fair. So into the final chicane, and am I going to be able to do anything? I don't think so. As I mentioned already, I struggle through the slower parts of the track, and of course, well, there's at least 3 chicanes on this track, and they're definitely slow parts of the track which I struggle at. So you saw a full on-board lap with me there. Not particularly fast in some sections, but this first part, definitely quite decent. Let's just say that. But we get a nice run on Felipe Massa here. I'm just going to send this down the inside. Use a bit of that sort of Astro-y stuff on the inside. But I was quite proud of that move. I thought that was quite good, considering how disconnected you are with the car and the controller. I was quite happy with that move down the inside. No contact. All of the car was on the track / curbs. You know, credit where credit is due. That's a fantastic overtake. Hopefully you can sense the sarcasm there. I realise it wasn't a worldie, but still, you know, I'll take it for this game. It's probably one of the best ones I've pulled off so far in this 4-race season we've done so far. So as I mentioned, we will be doing the whole season in this sort of career season thing we're doing here. I guess it's not technically a career mode because, you know, we're not starting out as our own driver, but to start a whole, you know, career mode through the game is not quite as simple as just doing a season challenge sort of thing. And of course you get the same cars, same drivers and so on. I guess all it really would change is my name and initials being in the top right. And of course we're only doing 1 season in this game before. Hopefully if you guys enjoy going over to F1 2005, which is a game I much prefer to actually drive on with the controller. It sort of feels it feels a lot better actually. F1 2005 was a really good game. I wanted to start off with 2004 to sort of get some experience and maybe use the car / game combo to have an excuse to not being the quickest, but I honestly did want to play this game as well because I mentioned it in one of the previous videos. This wasn't a game I played too much when I was younger, whereas Championship Challenge, Career Challenge, I definitely did a lot of racing on when I was younger. I mean, huge amount of hours on that one. So as we go on to lap number 12 here, 2 laps to go, and we have Ralf Schumacher just in front of us here. I don't think top 10 is going to be possible in this race, but maybe past Ralf and the car in front, that would be quite good. So, same place, same lunge, same overtake. Shall we do it, lads? Well, we're a bit too far back this time, but we do get closer and try and go one way to the next into the hairpin. Are we going to throw it on the inside? Yes, we are. That was quite a robust one. On the more modern F1 games, he would have probably turned out the corner because it was a huge lunge, and the AI would have been maybe a bit more sensible and just moved because they would have realised that the real life person was doing a terrible move down the inside. But of course, as I mentioned previously, the AI are kind of just on a track and they're driving on that track throughout the whole race, so they don't deviate from it too much. So yeah, he was always going to turn into the corner there, and I think as soon as I did that overtake, there was always going to be contact at that point. But can't blame the AI, it was just a mistake on my part. I braked a tad too late. Obviously only a tiny bit, it wasn't a lot, I promise. Nonetheless, we're going around the last couple of corners. Got the fastest lap down to a 19.4, so okay, that's a little bit more competitive, but it definitely wasn't consistent. So much closer once again, 19.9. Okay, maybe I just validated my point. That was a pretty decent lap there in comparison to my fastest, but now really trying to get past Ralf Schumacher here, one way than the next, much closer this time, and even side by side, a car off at the side of the track as well. I think he was a lap down, and I'm going to go down the inside. Another great move, but you know, I'm going to have it to leave it to your imagination to what happens here. You know, do I get round this wall or not? Hopefully you put your answers in the comment section down below, but I think the fact that I'm now about 5 seconds behind Ralf Schumacher probably tells you what happened. I think I'm going to have to write this one off. It wasn't an especially good race, and in the results screen I was a bit frustrated, so I sort of just skipped through it quite quickly. But overall, I finished another race. You know, I made up some positions. Panis scored a point to make me look even more stupid. Schumacher wins again to close in on the championship lead. You know, it all feels like it's going to get a bit more realistic now with Schumacher, Alonso, Barrichello all getting podiums. Webber also consistent, no fair play to him. He might be still up there come the end of the year. Baumgartner, Button and Pantano all retiring. But yeah, frustrating race there. We're not going to win all of them. A bit of a sloppy one in terms of some of the overtakes. Not good to crash also. I mean, what? Yeah, whatever. Yeah, anyway, we move swiftly on. Yeah, there's the Constructors' Championship. Okay, cool. Yeah, anyway, let's see you in the next episode, right? Yeah, thanks, bye.